might know me, Vinny Chopra, and my partner, BeauEckstein. And we come to you live at 9:30 Pacific, which is 12:30 Eastern, every Friday. Thanks for joining.
And I think, Vinny, honestly, we at some point we're going to start a affordable housing multifamily division underneath Monale Investments. I'll run the division.
Wow.
We'll have a nonprofit component, and we'll help.
Wow.
We could probably help this in a big way, really.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting week. I hope it's been for you also. Beau, you have some questions, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of questions.
How are you, brother?
Good to see you, Vinny. Good to see you, Beau.
Oh, thank you. We are so privileged to have you.
Hey, Vinny, real quick.
Yeah, bud.
All right, I'll bet you sushi that you don't know that. What does SAS stand for?
Hi there, everybody joining us, watching us. We are live in 7 channels actually today, in the YouTube, in LinkedIn, in Facebook groups and Facebook. Thanks again for liking the show. Please give comments, share, and we are here for a very big show today. All right. Brother Beau, I just realized we need to change the time to 9 a.m. Pacific in this video. Also, maybe we'll ask our graphic people to kind of redesign with 2023. Let's have a great one, right? I am sure you're thinking about that too, right there. And we got a great show today planned for everybody. Thanks for joining. This is Vinney and Beau Show. We've been doing it for many years now, 2.5 years, I think, or something. And Go ahead, Beau. How is everything? New Year, Happy New Year.
Yeah, no, Happy New Year to everybody. You know what I was just thinking about? And this is kind of funny. I just thought about this. I met Bill at a meetup. I met Vinny at a meetup. So I met Bill at his meetup like 10 or 12 years ago, right? And then we started working together 10 or 12 years ago. And I met Vinny 4 or 5 years ago at a meetup. So I guess the first thought I had is that people, you need to get out there and network, because that's how you meet connections, and then those can become lifelong friends and business partners. So very important. I just thought about that when I saw both of you on the screen.
For sure. Hey, 2023 is here, and that's what this show is about. We're going to double down, triple down on marketing, and we got the marketing gurus, 2 of them right here, Beau and Bill. So you want to give background about Bill, or Bill, you want to share, brother? Can you come a little bit higher? I know you're in Hawaii. I could see that. Thank you. No, fabulous. So go ahead, Beau, bro.
Yeah. So anyways, I met Bill when he lived in the Bay Area. Bill now lives in Washington, but I met him he used to put an internet marketing meetup. And of course, I always wanted to be a better marketer. So I started going to his meetup. And then a little time after that, I engaged his services, and we've worked together for 10 plus years. Bill has an extensive background in everything internet marketing. So he's a fantastic copywriter. He could build WordPress websites. He is helping build out blogs. Pretty much anything internet marketing, Bill knows how to do. And he's just, he's learned it over time. I think he's mostly self-taught. He's highly educated. He was an economics major growing up, so he knows a lot about economics, which is interesting for an internet marketer to know a lot about the economy. So he has a diverse background, which helps out, because most of the stuff we market right now is lending. So he understands it now. So it's good. So welcome to the show, Bill. It's going to be today we're going to talk all things marketing. In times of in uncertainty, right? Like everybody's worried about the economy right now. Everybody's worried about their investments. Mm-hmm. All these flippers and these people in bridge loans right now, everybody's worried because they're not able to sell their properties. But times like this are the most important times to double down on the most important thing, and that is your brand, your agency. We're all marketing agencies essentially. And so Bill and I we come up with amazing ideas. I think early on in our journey, we did a lot of stuff because I'm an idea guy, and Bill would help me do a million things. And now what we've gotten really good at doing is niching down and staying focused and disciplined. And through that, just to give you an example, we've gotten over 1 million views on YouTube.
Congratulations.
We now get 60% of our leads from our podcast and YouTube marketing. We just recently started a blog on SBA loans, which now we figured out how to easily rank in search, in Google search, right?
Mhm.
So wouldn't it be nice if you could be found on Google search without having to pay for ad spend? And that's all the stuff we really are really good at doing. And so like I can have an idea. So what I have an idea, and Bill's really the integrator. He knows how to figure out how to do it. And then we just go. For example, I told Bill, hey, let's get me on more podcasts, right? And what happened? We went on to this, it's basically Tinder for podcast match.
Yeah.
And within our first 2 days, we got 7 people that wanted us
On
we
the
had
show.
we had 19 people that wanted to be a guest on our show, and we had like 7 or 8 that I got invited to be on their shows, right? So now we're getting out there, right? Because we know if we can get in front of more people and we can talk about our message, because we all have a message. Vinny's got a message, Bill's got a message, I've got a message. So whatever your message is, you need to let millions of people know about your message, right? And your values and your skills. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Chat GPT, which is AI, how we can maybe implement that. We're going to talk about SEO. We're going to talk about YouTube, which is if you're not using YouTube and utilizing YouTube, we're going to talk about some of the tools. We're going to talk about basic content writing, marketing strategy, and even we're just creating systems to multiply. How to create SOPs. So your team, your virtual assistants there, whether they're in the Philippines, Pakistan, India, Mexico, you can build virtual teams that can help you grow your business. So that's all the kind of stuff I think we're going to dive into today. So it's going to be a good show. So anyways, let's start with Chat GPT, OpenAI. And what do you think the emerging trends are with this, and how might we be able to utilize this in our business, Bill?
Yeah, so for the normal user, Chat GPT seems like just alphabet soup, right? It's like, what does that even mean? And I don't even know what it means. And it's a product under OpenAI, which is Open Artificial Intelligence, who has some pretty big backers like Microsoft and LinkedIn and Elon Musk and stuff like that. But Chat GPT is actually free to use for now. And interestingly, I just read a Wall Street Journal article that they're talking about selling at a $29 billion valuation.
Wow.
That just happened yesterday. This thing's been open like 2 months.
2 months only. Wow.
It had 1 million users after its first week. So a lot of people are using it. But what is it? So basically, it's kind of a chat box where you can ask a question or put in some text and it renders an answer. Like earlier today, just to try it out again and maybe show you, I put in, how do you optimize a website for better search rankings? And it gave 7 or 8 suggestions that were really good. Now, there's a couple caveats. Number one, a lot of people are kind of concerned, especially in like the academic and scientific communities, that people are just going to type something in Chat GPT, get a document out, copy and paste that into, copy and paste that into a document and call it your own and pretend it's yours. And while that may not be technically plagiarism, it's not your own work, so don't claim it as your own work. Also, a lot of people don't know this, but Chat GPT uses big data sets that it's amazing technology, and it's amazing what we can do with this big data, but it stops at 2021. So nothing that's been created in 2022 is in that library. So that's something to pay attention to. So for example, if you're trying to keep up to date on the best practices for creating a YouTube podcast, you're not going to find anything on Chat GPT necessarily that's any good, because YouTube didn't really even talk about podcasting much until 2022 on their platform. So you're not going to find anything there that's of much value. However, if you want, and we can put links, I think we can put links in your show later that show where to get a proprietary and confidential slide deck that YouTube put out, that talks all about podcasting, and it's got a lot of great tips and angles. So
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
That's also interesting. YouTube is the #1 podcasting platform.
Yes.
And podcasting now is a multi-billion-dollar industry, sponsorships. So if you're out there and you don't have a podcast, you should definitely have a podcast. And it should be a podcast show on YouTube.
Yeah, and video is much more engaging. And the best thing about YouTube or video podcasting is that, and this is what we do, Beau, we strip out the audio and have that audio strictly as a podcast on, all the different podcasting platforms, and they syndicate out. But you can strip out that audio. You could use the video and audio on YouTube and strip out the audio and use it on audio platforms. So you're making the most use of your content. A lot of people think that, oh my God, marketing is all about content marketing, and I got to create all this content. And it's really not that hard, especially when you repurpose, remix, reuse the content you already have. Like, for example, and I want to just get to this real quick. When Beau and I met, I don't remember. I don't know if Beau remembers, but what was the big thing I was harping on in my meetups at the time, and I'm going to give you a hint. It was
video.
Yeah. 12 plus years ago. And just to put things in perspective, I think it was in 2005 when Google bought YouTube. YouTube was a standalone company, and they bought YouTube for the quote unquote unicorn price of $1.5 billion. Even adjusting for inflation, even tech inflation, $1.5 billion compared to $29 billion today for ChatGPT, there's no comparison. Google got a deal when they got YouTube, or you could say that ChatGPT is value, its valuation is off the charts, and maybe it's overvalued. I don't know, but we'll see.
Now, who started it, by the way? Was it like few years back they started ChatGPT? Is it USA originator or in China? Some people.
Yeah, it's a guy. The CEO's, I think his name is Sam Altman. I think he's an American. I think.
Okay.
But he's started other companies and done pretty well with them.
Okay.
And I think it was last year or maybe 2021. He went up to Seattle and met with Microsoft CEO, and he got $1 billion.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So what he did, which is interesting because ChatGPT is free, like I said, for now, what he did was he created a for-profit arm of OpenAI that funds things like ChatGPT. They also do the DALL-E image or graphics AI, where you can input like a prompt that says, hey, create a picture that has 4 dolphins, 3 monkeys, and 2 chimps playing chess, or whatever, and it'll render an image that you can use.
I love it.
Unique.
Can I put my name in there? Then the image will have my name already inside.
Probably do it all.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy what you can do with this stuff.
I mean, right now I'm not exactly sure, how to best utilize it. But like, for example, if we're doing content and I want to search an idea, like if I'm doing a blog or creating some content around an SBA 504 loan for self-storage facility, I can put that in the search. I can get a really good description from Chat GPT, right? And then I can take that and I could not copy it, but I can use that as a baseline to write my content.
Yes.
Yeah. So exactly. It'll streamline the efficiencies. So like right now, for example, Bill and I we're building a blog website, and we tested our theory and we ranked our blog website second in Google search for a specific search term. So now what we're going to do is we have to do, I don't know, we'll probably want to get 500 to 1,000 of these mini blog pages done this year.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're doing is we created a template to replicate this blog post, but for different content, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have like 1,000 rankings that rank number 1 for long tail keywords in my niche, which is SBA financing.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that searches for these terms is going to find our blog site, and our blog site is digital real estate, right? So our blog site is going to be worth a lot of money because we can go and sell it to a big bank that does SBA loans and say, hey, we're getting this much traffic, or we can rent real estate on our website, right?
Yep.
We can lease banner space to these people. So we're going to do this throughout a few niches in lending, right? We're going to build digital real estate because real estate is, it's not a physical thing necessarily, like owning a building. You can own digital real estate.
Yep.
And that, this is where we talk about the whole
Metaverse,
Web3, the metaverse, all this stuff, which is, there's going to be evolutions that are going to happen.
And we are building it, by the way, just to let everybody know, through Evoke, my other startup company with my partner. We are building right now metaverse and Web3s in Dubai and stores and others, all these. And a lot of other people are building too. Nike and others and Nordstrom, they're building their metaverses too. I just wanted to interject, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I got introduced to this, GPT, Chat GPT, and I installed it on my iPhone. So I've been doing blogging already, or I'm doing my shows. So I put down there, learning your strengths and areas of growth to be a partner. And it gave me so much stuff. Then I said, which are the top personality tests? I don't have to do nothing. It just gave me all those things. And I've been doing it for last 1 week. And I have so much information in my, yellow pad in my iPhone. It's just horrendous. It's amazing. I mean, it just tells me. Then I was doing this business plan with my attorney on this fund that I'm going to do. So I wanted to know about Forex investing because we'll be starting a fund to invest in Forex. I wanted to know the ins and outs, the pros and the cons of investing in Forex. So it gave me that always, and gold trading and this and, cluster homes. So whatever you ask that, within seconds, I cannot believe it. It starts typing and it starts, you can listen it too when it types. It's just mind-boggling. Yeah,
it's amazing. And I think we're in the age now. I thought this 10 years ago, but we're more so in the age now of there's almost too much information, and we need better filters. And I think this could be a better filter. It could be a better filter than Google, because while Google's still number 1 in the search engines, there is talk that like a Chat GPT could take over for Google.
Wow.
And Google's also competing with itself too, because YouTube is the second ranked search engine in the world. And I would say it's better, especially if you're looking for something that's like a how-to. How do I do this? Because you can see it and you can hear it. It's right there. You don't have to read about it. You don't have to like imagine what it looks like. You just see it. And generally speaking, the results are pretty darn good, meaning you're always going to find cases where the advice is bad. But
I think it's going to be
in my case, and in many cases, it's very good information, and it's spot on.
So is it possible? I know what you're doing. I love what you both have done. SOPs, standard operating procedures, and putting them all together, templated. Can you offer it to other people who can, at a price, of course, that would be amazing, because the thing is, lots of people, small business owners, they can't afford too high price for a lot of things. But if it's already there, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm sure you're thought about too. That's one thing I like in Go High Level, that we could do the funnels. I just imported 9 funnels from ClickFunnels, because I'm closing that account. I don't need it anymore, because in Go High Level it has got everything in it, and it's SaaS model right there on the internet. You could duplicate it and sell it. So I think that's what I'm thinking. In your business and my business, we need to do some things which we can pass on down for free, almost free, at such a small price.
Yeah, that's certainly easy to replicate.
Possible. Yeah.
And you know, we try to, and I'm not trying to demean VAs or anything, but we try to
Sure.
write these things so
Yeah.
that anybody could follow them. They're step by step, they're detailed. So in order to make it truly like for you, we would have to understand what you're doing.
Sure.
But we could even start with like an outline that says these are the generic steps you do in order
Yeah.
to let's just say, publish a good ranking YouTube video. This is what
Yeah.
you need to do. And
Yeah.
then we could get more specific based upon kind of what your niche is or whatever, what your objectives are, what your calls to actions are, that kind of stuff.
Oh, love it, love it,
E-
love it.
Easy.
Bill, how can people reach you? I mean, I think it's a great thing if you can get some, dialogue started, as we'll be, publishing and printing this, podcast also. Yeah.
Yeah, the best place to go is my website, which is internetmarketingmuscle.com. So it's internet
Aha, I like that. Muscle.
muscle.com.
Yeah.
And there's ways to reach me on there. I think there's a contact form, a support form or something. I'll have to double check before we get off the
Yeah,
air.
yeah. No problem. No
I
problem.
just redid the website, so I don't remember if I put that menu item on there.
Awesome.
I'm like a really good doctor in that a lot of times I give good advice and have the best, have great recommendations, but I don't follow them myself.
How
Yeah,
about
we got
newsletters? Do you think, I know we talked about internet search, Google and the YouTube. I love YouTube myself. How about newsletters? Are there some ways? How could we rank and blog? Have you put this blog at a like BeauEckstein.biz website, or where is a
no.
good place to put your blogs?
So we build our blogs on a WordPress theme. Bill picks out what theme. I think he uses Thrive themes often, because there's all different WordPress themes, and then you take them and you custom tailor them.
I see.
So and then we were like writing general blogs within SBA. So our website, our blog site is called sbaloans.blog, and it's geared specific for all things SBA financing. But then we realized that there's niches within niches, right? And so because it's a very lucrative business, people search, right? So there's long tail keywords. So you can say SBA 7A financing, right? That's not a long tail. You can say SBA 7A financing for self-storage. That's a long tail keyword. And so long tail keywords are easier to rank on Google because there's not as many searches, right? But so search intent though, like when people are searching for what we're putting out there, they want that. It's very specific, right? And so when they want that, they buy. And so that's the thing. It's, think of it as a hub, like there's a hub and there's spokes, like a wheel, right? A tire. The hub could be the general content, right? The category, and then the spokes are like the long tail keywords, right? And that's what I think. Basically, if you write good content, you can't just, like in the olden days, you could keyword stuff and fluff and you would rank for in Google. Google's now they pay people and they have AI. They want to make sure your content's relevant, right? They don't want any of this spam stuff out there. I mean, you can spam a little bit, but you got to know how to play. That they want good content, and so I think they have like thousands of people that actually physically read pages too to check this stuff. So your content has to be somewhat good, and then go after long tail keywords. The same thing with YouTube search. Now Bill uses a tool for us. We were using vidIQ. Now we use TubeBuddy.
Which one? What's the name?
It's called TubeBuddy.
TU? How do you spell it?
Bill will send you a link.
Okay.
It's Tube Buddy, as in YouTube Buddy.
Oh yeah, TubeBuddy. Oh, I love it.
So and also if you subscribe to Bill's newsletter, he sends out like tools and stuff, and he does write-ups about like tools that we're using and he uses in his business. But anyways, so TubeBuddy helps you rank, right? So we upload our video and then it gives you a score, and you try to get to as close as you can to 100%. and then you know your video's optimized, right? And if you do good with video optimization, it's also going to show up in Google search, right? So we have number 1 and 2 YouTube video that we did on a niche, and then we wrote the blog post. Those are the first and second for this search term that we wanted to rank for. And we did it within 2 weeks. We became number 1 in 2 weeks for a search term.
Wow.
And if anybody lands on and buys, that could be anywhere from a $15,000 to a $30,000 commission we make if they buy from us, right? So how many of those buy boxes can you put out there? So, putting buy boxes. So let's just talk real quick. We don't have much time, and we're rambling on.
Yes.
So let's talk tools. So you guys heard about TubeBuddy for YouTube. Let's talk about when you're writing blog content. Bill, what kind of tools do you like that would be like a TubeBuddy for like blogs?
Yeah, so I make extensive use of some high quality plugins for our WordPress websites. One that I use on every website nowadays is called Rank Math, RANKMATH, and it's very similar to TubeBuddy in that it can help you optimize your blog posts. And it has a scoring algorithm that you can see. So when you make changes, you see the changes in your score. It also has its own proprietary AI part of the tool where you can you essentially buy credits, because these AI tools cost money. There's server time, there's all the expenses of running a SaaS service, all that kind of stuff. So but it's fairly inexpensive, and it can help you write better blog posts that are optimized for not only Google, but for actual people. Because remember, Google is trying to give its users the best results it can, and its users are people. So if you try to optimize for people, you're in effect optimizing for Google. When you write a blog post, some of the things you do is just like in a YouTube video, your title is very important. It's what gets people to click, or at least to notice. In your description for YouTube, part of that description is shown in search results, right? Your thumbnail is shown in search results. Same goes for Google search results. Your title is shown, your meta description is shown, your featured image might be shown. So all those things are important. Other things you can do, and this isn't a tool, but it's within WordPress itself or any HTML, is optimize your images and include, at least one image in every blog post. It gets people to keep reading, and it's interesting. Another thing you do is write an outline. And this is where ChatGPT comes in handy, or other AI tools. I use some other AI tools for helping me write blog posts, especially on content I don't understand, like Beau understands it, or other clients understand their content. Like, I write content for a lot of people, and I don't necessarily know about their industry or their niche, right? But I can learn pretty quick, and I can use the tools that are available out there, like Google and ChatGPT.
I've used copy.ai. Copy.ai is a good one. I know some of my students have used it too. That's a good one.
Word Hero. Word Hero is great too.
Which one?
It's called Word Hero.
Oh, Word Hero. Okay,
It's
another
fantastic.
one is Jasper. Jasper, I think. Yeah.
There's a lot of tools, and one thing I caution you about is, like, don't try them all. Try one or two and see if you like them, and see if they give you the results you want.
Sorry, I have an idea. Let's just walk people through. So, like, if Bill and I were getting together, right, and we were like, how can we help Vinney? Let's just use Vinney as our case study.
I love it. I love it. Bill, I'm calling you after this show, bro.
I think this is going to help the audience, right? So Vinney is obviously, he has investors that come to him, but we're going to focus just on his coaching, his academy. He coaches and mentors people who want to get in multifamily business. Okay. So the first thing, like, if Bill and I were doing our weekly sessions together, and I was Vinney, let's just say, so we go, okay, well, what do we want to be found for? and we're just specific. So we would start owning keywords like multifamily mentor, multifamily coach, multifamily syndicator mentor. We would rank in YouTube under all those search terms first, which means, and then we'd have our own funnel, right? They would go and they'd click and they'd book a Calendly call. Then it would be on with an advisor that would walk them through Vinney's coaching program, right? Just think about, Vinney, think about if you just did this really well and also did this really well on Google. If your coaching program, I know you have like one that's, for newer students, but when people want to coach with you, they've cut you checks for $25,000, right? So
Yep.
Imagine if you had this on autopilot and you're not even paying for Google spend or AdSense or Facebook marketing, right? You've just built this over time. The reason why it doesn't work for many people, and I'll tell you why it doesn't work, because they give up in 2 months. They go, oh, I'm not getting results. You got to understand this is a 12 to 24 month play to get the results, but anybody can do this. Like if I was Vinney, I would be ranking all my videos and I would do little short Q&A sessions, right? We talked about the Q&A.
Yeah.
Vinney would answer people's questions. What is a PPM for multifamily syndicators? What is a private placement memorandum? Like that would be one answer, right? And then, you have a call to action in the video. They book a call. We would specifically rank, right? You'd have a blog site. So you would own Google search and YouTube search. And I guarantee you, with the amount of money and effort it took, which is minimal, and you're making $10,000 to $20,000 high ticket sales, right? Just think about that. That would be, at least 6 figures to possibly 7 figures a year just from organic search, right?
Yes.
That you're not doing, and it's not that hard. And so that's why, when we talk about marketing and media, it's so important for everybody to do this. That's why you need to be doing this stuff, because, I've done pay-per-click and all this stuff. And you know what? It does work, but the problem is those leads aren't good leads, because they're just, it's a good lead when people go into your funnel.
Yes.
And they know, like, and trust you. They listen to your video. I was just listening to this lady because I just jumped on her. I got into her funnel, and she publishes magazines. And I was like, man, it'd be cool because I have my real estate, I'm my lender. I could monetize this. And she had a really good funnel, right? I was just about to book a call with her to buy into her funnel so I could start my own digital magazine, and maybe it would be on real estate investing, or maybe it'd be in a loan broker. But that's the thing. And I found her on YouTube. So people that understand this niche will just crush it, right? Look at the Ryan Pinedas of the world. The guy, he's interviewing Grant Cardone's Liver King. Yeah. And 3 years ago, he had just a very small presence, right? Yeah. So he's more of a social media icon. Where I specialize, and through the help of Bill, is search, right? Because I get this call all the time. Who should be my mentor in multifamily, right? People are Googling this stuff. They're YouTube. You're the mentor on YouTube that they find, and you have a clear message with a call to action. You're going to get the business. That's just one example of how to utilize digital marketing.
Awesome. So what you're saying is in searches. So how do you rank up? Again, I'm just, I'm going to be following up a lot of these steps. We are pay for Google search, click. I'm paying $500 or something, but we are not getting good people. That's the real deal.
Okay. So, let's give an example here. Okay. So Bill and I, let's say we'd go, okay, Vinney, first of all, we'd use Google tool. We do use search tools like Uber Suggest, and we'd figure out what people are searching for. Multifamily mentor, multifamily coach, multifamily syndicating coach. We would then create content and rank it using tools like TubeBuddy and certain SEO techniques within YouTube, and we'd rank those videos first in YouTube, right? So now anybody searching for a multifamily mentor, who's this charismatic Indian dude? It's Vinney Chopra, right? So people now know who Vinney Chopra is, although, obviously we're still doing podcast outreach and all that stuff we're doing.
Yeah.
And then we take that same concept and you build out a micro blogging site and do what we're doing, what we talked about in SBA blogs. And now you're ranking for all this stuff, and you have a clear call to action, and they book a call on you, either you or your closer,
Team
whatever you want to
member,
call
yeah.
it. I'd take all my appointments, but eventually if I got big enough and had enough leads coming in, I would get somebody that would be to take these calls and do the input and data entry. Right.
Sure.
And so that would be the easiest steps. So like if you're paying X amount per lead, right, you're going to have to go through like 300 leads to get like one qualified candidate versus if you did authentic, I'll call this authentic marketing, right? People understand, people like your message and you know how to rank it, and then they find you and then they go into your funnel, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe they buy from you, or maybe they're not ready to spend 10 grand. So they do the digital course, which is $1,000, right? Because they can afford that. They can't have a mentor.
Totally.
That's what you should be doing, because I don't know. I know a lot of people crush it in paid search and stuff like that, but I think like this is like farming, and you have to like put the work in, and most people fail because they won't put the work in. They give up. And that's why Bill and I meet. Now we're meeting 4 times a week. We used to meet 2 times a week, but we go, hey, if we continue to stack bricks, right? Like, and some days I wake up like, oh, I'm not getting the results. But at the end of the day, if we look at my calendar, you'll see every day there's book calls from our marketing every single day. And it's there. It's like 3 years from now, people will be looking at that video, clicking on you, right? Like, and so I just
think about this also. I'm not opposed to paid ads. I think they serve their purpose. However, when you stop paying for those ads, you don't get any more leads.
No, zero.
What we do is we put that out, we put the content out there. It's on YouTube, it's on our blogs. It stays there as long as we pay the web hosting bill. It'll be there forever.
It's so small. Yeah.
The goal is at some point, we retire and we still get leads every day for Beau. That's the idea.
You could sell those leads. No, that's very exciting. I hope everybody watching us in the podcast or live show right now, this is Vinney and Beau Show. Happy New Year 2023. Big things are going to happen for those who take action. And the key thing is to take action in marketing, because marketing is the engine of your business. If the engine is not there, everything behind won't move in that direction. So it's so thankful, Bill, for coming on the show, brother. It's just amazing. And
thanks for having
what
me.
we talked about today, SEOs and all these things about blogging and getting specific niche. What I liked, Beau, you said people are searching for these words. And if they're searching, you getting the person who is already looking to get closed. It's not that I'm going to kick the tires, I call it, right? I mean, we're trying to give this book away for free, my apartment syndication book for free. People come in just to kick the tire, I think, hey, let me read this book, free book when he's giving. So I think I need to change my mindset, Yeah.
We got to do more of these segments on marketing, because like really, like whether you're a newer investor and you're looking to find investors, right? Like you need to position yourself and figure out like where you're at right now, who you are, and then like what strategies would be most applicable for what you're looking to do. But there's a million ways to market. And so now we're going, like we said, we have our own podcast, Investor Financing Podcast. And I'm like, man, I haven't gotten on a lot of podcasts. So it's like, okay, like let's check out what's out there. We found a couple providers. Vinney, I gave you the one the other day. I'm on another platform.
Go there, today.
So you go up and like, and it takes you 45 minutes to go through and fill it out completely and update your bios. But then you keep it fresh, and then you create a resource called Quick Links, and then you have all this stuff available. But like now we're going to get in front of, some of the people have podcasts, and like they have, they get 3, 4, 5,000 downloads per episode. So if I get on 100 podcasts this coming year, I'm going to get in front of, let's just say, 500,000 people that didn't know who Beau was. And now people will know who Beau is. I think this approach to marketing it's the least expensive. It takes a little bit more work, but it's the best bang for your time and dollar, for sure.
I totally agree. Bill, I don't know if you could This is so good. I know we kind of try to wrap up. We've been going on 40 minutes, which is great. Would you mind coming again next week, brother? We'd love to have you if you are available. Please
Yeah,
check your
yeah.
schedule.
I'll check my calendar and get back to you guys. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
if you would. I think this could be mind-boggling for a lot of people because, a lot of people want to do things, but they think that, I cannot do it. That's the biggest thing. And a lot of time, I remember trying to get somebody to do it for me, a VA. He says, Vinny, $4,000 to do search engine, SEOs and this and that. Sometimes people think, I can't afford that much money, but maybe there is a better way to get it done at a lower. I don't know what the cost might be, but I definitely want to, maybe use my example in, teaching other people, and we could get, some.
Yeah. I like that idea. I think like we could do, or Bill could do, I could do, but Bill could
Yeah.
create micro courses like, hey, how to
Yeah.
set up he really has all these courses, by the way.
Yes.
How to set up a WordPress website, like, and make it easy. And then step one, like how to like write a blog, and, basic tools for, and you do step by step, right? And you get these people, or you do like a group. Well, another cool thing would be like a group coaching session, right? Like
Yes.
everybody pays a little bit of money. They come on and like everybody, it's like Q&A, right? And then like instructor Bill could get on and share a screen and go, okay, this is what you want to do for this, this is what you want to do. So because, not everybody's got a couple $1,000s to spend, but they do have $20 or $30 to jump in a session and learn. And then they go, hey, this is the best $30 I spent. I learned how to do this, this, and this, right? And if you could build this group. But I think, the question is, whoever's out there, who's going to actually utilize this? Like Vinny, the amazing thing about Vinny is that at his age and he doesn't need to be doing this stuff. He could probably go and actually he could go off and sit in Mexico the rest of his life and live like a king. But he has the mindset of a lifetime learner where he's like, yeah, you know what? I want to be the best and get my message out there to millions of people.
Yeah.
And so he's willing to learn and apply.
Yes. Yes.
And not everybody's willing to do that. So it really comes down to like, you don't even have to be, you can be like me where everything comes hard for you, but you can grit through anything, right? Like, I probably didn't choose the easiest path, but the point is that I've gotten results because we, first of all, I partnered with Bill, right? And you find other people in your life that can help you.
Yeah.
And then you go at it. Right. And you just say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Like when Bill and I meet for 2 hours, we don't even scratch the surface. Like this call, we could talk. We just didn't talk about a little bit, but we could, there's so much you can do. And so the key is when Bill and I get together, it's like we bullshit for the first 10 minutes. And then it's like, boom, it's like this, and this, right? Like move the needle. So if I know that if I meet with Bill, I can move the needle.
Yeah.
And my day sucked. Other than that, I know that 2 hours is going to be like a supercharged move the needle. So that's why everybody needs these like kind of things. And that's why the more I'm thinking about this, it would be good for people to get into these type of networks where they could go like, hey, like this is what I'm trying to do. How can I solve this problem? Like I need to like get this message out, because a lot of us have the ideas, but we don't know how to actually get them done. Right.
I love it. I love it. And, maybe we could make a commitment that all three of us will do these webinars, maybe once a month, maybe teach people, right? We are doing it here weekly, but then do it where they could even get SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures, just to get it going, right? I mean, I think everybody needs that nudge, I find. And if there is a way to get them rolling, they can roll further and further and further. And everybody, every entrepreneur, whatever business you are in, side hustle you have or whatever, marketing is the key. Marketing is the key. No, thank you so much, Bill. And, again, how can people reach you again? And look forward to check your schedule if you could join us again. And then we'll do the outro, kind of go out with a bang. And we'll meet everybody next Friday, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. That's our new time, 1 hour, half an hour early, which will be great. And again, be sure to catch me on my Abundance Mindset with Vinny Chopra and Walter on 9 a.m. on Thursday Pacific, that we do every week also. So 2 shows bang to bang. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, brother. Talk to you hopefully next week. Thanks.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
So happy to be on your show finally.
I'm a long-time fan, and I watch all your guys' content.
It's awesome. We're very, very, very invested in our community.
It's wonderful to be here.
This is Vinney Chopra and also my good buddy BeauEckstein. And we are so happy.
It's amazing what's going to happen. So, we're amped up to do the show, and we got a lot of hype about the guest today, so I'm excited.
Oh, I know. So excited to come live to you all. We come to you live 9:30 every